Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video where today we return with round 6 of our F224 Andrea Kimi Antonelli career mode. Yes, we're back this weekend here at the Spanish Grand Prix. Of course, if you missed out on the videos that went live last weekend, then I would highly recommend going back and checking them out. We had a lot of fun on the Monaco streets, and after a tough Emilia-Romagna weekend before that, we finally started to get our season back on track. Ollie Behrman, our teammate, leads the championship now by just a single point over Paul Aaron. Gabriel Bortoletto, he's brutally consistent, but he is just behind in P3. We are 4th overall now, 17 points back behind our teammate. But if I've learned anything through the first third of the season, it's that I need to try and improve my qualifying pace inside this series. So as we head to Barcelona this weekend, that's what we're hoping for, that I can try and get a top 10 start ready for both races, and then hopefully we can try and score some big points. Get yourself subscribed if you're new. We're trying to hit 140,000 subs here on the channel, and yeah, let's do this thing. Well, I've been having a quick look back through the first 4 videos, or sorry, 5 weekends even of this series. We've made it inside the top 10 in qualifying just once, and that came back at Jeddah, where we were able to storm to pole positions. So clearly we have got the pace in the car, but it is just a question of when can I get it nailed there. But for our teammate Ollie Behrman, yeah, you wouldn't think 2 points for a Friday afternoon would make much of a difference, but that's actually given him the championship lead over Paul Aaron at the moment. Of course, he scored 4 points from qualifying. I don't believe Paul Aaron has taken a pole position yet so far in this campaign. So yeah, for our teammate, those pole positions certainly have been useful, but Barcelona, see, this place really does test all aspects of any racing car. But yeah, everybody with the same machinery in FIA Formula 2. So it is just about who can get the setup nailed there, as camps are just about completely flat on the exit of the corner. But we've hopefully set up the car to be pretty strong through this final sector of the lap as well. So hopefully we'll be able to try and find a little bit of time through those final couple of corners there, as nice and brave up through, I believe that's turn 12. Just 2 more corners to go. We're not a million miles away from our teammate Ollie Behrman there, but have to be brave through that final corner. You can see us clawing back a little bit of time. We're going to end up P3. I will take that very happily indeed. Well, our top 2 in the championship then starting to build up a little bit more confidence there, and you can see, I mean, your top 3 able to get a little bit of a breakaway over everybody else in the end. The Campos drivers of Isaac Hadjar and Pepe Marti right behind us. But yeah, the whole field spread by half a second is actually one of the more wide open lobbies we've seen so far this season. Behrman will storm to pole. 0.08 of a second doesn't sound like a lot, but yeah, that's a pretty dominant qualifying here in this series. We're going to line up P8 though, ready for the race. We've got the top 2 in the championship directly behind us, so let's hope we can try and score some big points.
So today, the sprint race, no pit stops, just full on pace. It's all about speed, daring, and sheer driving skill. What, I wonder, is in store for us today? It's back to the future for the F2 drivers today. We welcome the removal of the chicane in the final sector. It will shorten lap times and reduce the length to 2.9 miles, 14 turns. This was the original setup of the track, but it hasn't been used since 2007. It's Formula 2, it is the sprint race. I'm Alex Jakes, Alex Brundle is alongside me. Now Alex, there's no mandatory stop in the rules, but this is Formula 2. Anything could happen.
You go for a little more, a little earlier, using a bit more of that harder compound of the 2 tyres available per weekend in Formula 2 to try to steal a march. And equally, if you have a bit of a bump, not so much of an issue. You're going to have another go tomorrow.
Wise words there once again from our 2 Alexes, and hopefully we're going to avoid having a bit of a bump as we make our way through the sprint. 13 laps ahead of us. It does feel very odd going from Monaco, which is obviously such a long weekend, to coming here to Barcelona, especially now the track is a lot quicker as well. It really does make the races fly by around this circuit. But waiting on the grid then for those 5 red lights. It's going to be lights out, and away we go there, and neither Campos getting off to a particularly good start. I believe this is the first time all year that we've used the hard compounded tyre there, and we've got the hookup. Absolutely beautiful, straight down the middle as we make our way into turn 1. I think everybody is just going to be quite sensible with it, as Rafael Villagomez, one of our 2 drivers yet to score a point this year, but he lines up on pole for this one as, Dennis Hauger, we were comfortably down the inside, but clearly the Norwegian didn't spot me there through turn 3, and, well, we said before the race I was hoping we wouldn't end up with a little bit of a bump, but that's exactly what's happened on this opening lap there, as, yeah, Rafael Villagomez, this could be a really, really big weekend for him. Obviously, we've seen Juan Manuel Correa take the last couple of pole positions and, end up 10th in qualifying, which has given him pole position ready for the sprint races there. The last 2 weekends saw Correa win the sprint and Ollie Behrman, our teammate, win the feature race. Hence why, yeah, Ollie has leapfrogged his way to the top of the table. I don't think that's going to happen this weekend, though, and Correa is going to need certainly a miracle in the sprint. Behrman might still win the feature, though, because, yeah, he just seems to be on a tear early on in this campaign. But, yeah, we've really been able to move our way up through the order quite nicely on lap 1. Luckily, even more importantly than that, is that Behrman and Aaron haven't. As much as we are technically teammates with Ollie Behrman in FIA Formula 2, you don't really tend to race like that. It is kind of every driver for themselves inside this series. You can see making our way back down in towards turn 1. We definitely are slightly down on straight line speed, but not drastically. Well, there we go. New fastest lap of the day early on. Those bonus points, like I said, they really do add up inside this series, so we'll try and see if we can keep hold of that there. As you can see, Rafael Villagomez going defensive from Richard Verschoor through those first couple of corners. But yeah, we were slightly down, like I said, on straight line speed at that final turn, but we can get a really, really good run through those high downforce corners, and that is really actually kind of negating most of the disadvantage down that front straight. So actually I think we've set up the car really nicely this weekend. It's always a little bit of an unknown. We basically tend to use the sprint race to kind of work out whether we're screwed or not. Just see, yeah, as we drop the car through that final corner, Ratomo Miata struggling to put the power down as quickly as we can. Hauger, though, behind, has just gone and snookered away my fastest lap bonus point, which is a little bit of a shame. So we'll try and claim that back. Oh, what on earth's gone on there? Rafael Villagomez has locked up. Ratomo Miata has almost followed him. And, well, we've ended up gaining 2 places there, despite not really ever attempting to go for an overtake. That one was very, very odd, but I'm not going to complain. We're up into P3. Oh, there we go. Times are continuing to improve. And we will have back our fastest lap bonus point there, as here goes Gabriel Bortoleto, P3 in the championship, but a good sprint here could bring him up into the lead of that table, as Richard Verschoor had a disastrous Monaco Grand Prix weekend last time out. He's going to try and hang on to P2, though, as we'll go wheel to wheel with him through the incredibly long turn 3 there. The Dutchman just will try and cover us off into the corner, and that's brought Villagomez and Miata straight back into this fight as well. But Bortoleto then, the young Brazilian, obviously F3 champion last year, straight into the lead here. And while he could join a very illustrious list, I think Charles Leclerc, George Russell and Oscar Piastri of drivers that win both F3 and then immediately win F2. Oh, there we go again then for sure, this time around back to the inside of Gabriel Bortoleto, where it's been so long since we've had a big DRS straight inside this series. It's nice to actually see the AI be able to battle with each other. Monaco and Imola didn't really allow for a lot of that. Obviously, yeah, just the DRS. Well, Imola's DRS straight was fantastic. We were just never really in a position to watch people battle with all the DRS strains that were formed. But yeah, Richard Verschoor, I don't believe he's won a race this season. To be fair, I'm not even convinced Gabriel Bortoleto has. I'm probably wrong. But he might just have been brutally consistent throughout the opening few races. He might not genuinely have won one yet. Well, whether Bortoleto has won a race or whether he hasn't, it's not going to stop him from trying to win another one here as we round our way through the final couple of corners there. You can just see how close we get. And the AI, they should be getting track limits penalties for running wide out of that final corner. You can see Ollie Behrman's still a little way further back. We're going to try and enjoy the double slipstream there, and Verschoor is just powerless to the inside down at turn 1. This time around we'll make the move work on him, and he goes from first straight down to third. That's how ridiculous the DRS is around this circuit in these cars. We go then. Are we going to be able to get the run now on Gabriel Bortoleto? We've both opened up a little bit of a window over Richard Vachon further behind. The Brazilian is going to try and go defensive, but from 8th on the grid then in just 8 laps, we have gone to the front of the field here in Barcelona. The Bortoleto will hang on to P2 there, so we didn't lose 2 places like we saw Richard Vachon the lap before. But can we now try and hang on to what would be a fantastic win? I mean, you just got to keep your eye on the top left-hand side of your screens. Are we going to be able to get this gap to Bortoleto up over a second? Or will we even be able to extend it through these final few corners? To see, yeah, that car still. The AI have very, very good traction inside these cars, but through the final corner we'll go. You can see we open up that gap to about 6.5 tenths, but it is almost immediately just going to get eroded as we make our way back down towards someone. Here comes Bortoleto once again down the inside. Will go the Virtuosi driver, and nothing we can really do there, apart from trying to fight him back on the exit around the outside through turn 2. And we might take him a little bit by surprise there and reclaim the lead of the race. I'll let him try and go for moves, but I'm also not going to back out without a fight. Here comes Bortoleto again then every single lap. We're going to have to try and defend it, and you just see that time round he pushes me a little bit more to the outside through turn 1. We've got yellow flags out further back. Who's that falling to the wayside then in this race? It seems to be one of the cars that was down towards the back of the field anyway. I think that might be an AIX car, Enzo Fittipaldi, out of this race. I think he's with Van Amersfoort. So Villa Gomez, his teammate, I believe, is gone. As we make our way then through the final couple of corners, I think you could make the argument that maybe the DRS is a little bit too powerful around this venue, because Bortoleto and I just keep chopping and changing positions. But 2 laps to go with this race. Once again, you'll see the Brazilian will go defensive. We're going to try and surprise him, though, to the inside. And Bortoleto might not be happy with that one, but we have made it work there. Slow it down onto that first curb. And maybe that's brought Richard Vachon back into the fight as well there. But are we going to see Bortoleto go for it again onto the very last lap? Have I just mistimed that move? As we round our way then into the final sector. Just over 1 lap to go then. And I'm just getting a little bit nervous that maybe making that move on Bortoleto when I did was a little bit of a mistake there. Perhaps the Brazilian smiling under that helmet because he knows that he is about to be able to reclaim this lead. We need to get the best run of my life ever through these final couple of corners. I'm going to try and leave it in 5th gear, get the power down a little bit earlier there, but I think we've kind of been caught between the gears. And now Gabriel Bortoleto will be coming towards me. We're going to have to sit in the middle of the road, try and play defensive, back down towards someone. Bortoleto to the outside will go, but look at that, cleanly through and back into the lead of this race then. So Gabriel Bortoleto and you and I Virtuosi might just have played this one to absolute perfection. Unless we can try and find another avenue on this last lap, I think the Brazilian might be about to claim this as we round our way through turn 4. I mean, we've just got to try and explore different lines, see if we can find grip absolutely anywhere here, or maybe force Bortoleto into a mistake there. Fill his mirrors as best as we can as we descend down through turn 7 into the uphill rise of turn 8, and of course the infamous Campsa of turn 9 here. We are not a million miles away from Bortoleto just yet, and you can see he's definitely struggling with his tyres as well. We'll utilise the DRS down this short chute. We don't often see moves here, but we've got to go for it. Down the inside of Gabriel Bortoleto though, but he will try and come back at me on the exit of the corner. He gets a little bit caught underneath me as we make our way up in towards the hairpin, still side by side for the race lead here with just a handful of corners to go. It is anybody's guess just yet. Bortoleto will try and squeeze me. We'll have to try and give him the room through the penultimate corner. At the final turn though, up towards the line, who's going to take the win? We get the DRS. Bortoleto though, he's only gone and done it.
Yes, mate, I'll take that. Well done. We're really happy with the podium down here, so well done. Yes.
Brazilian driver will see the checkered flag first. Gabriel Bortoleto takes the win.
Well, the sprint win's not where the big points are handed out, but it sets them up well for tomorrow and gives a lot of confidence for the longer feature.
Another race and another victory for Virtuosi as we see the drivers make their way out to the podium for the final ceremony. Superb racing out there today and a well-deserved win.
Well, good, hard, fair racing on that last lap there, and maybe hindsight's a beautiful thing. Perhaps I should have just tried to squeeze Bortoletto out a little bit more through that final corner there, but the Brazilian takes the win by just over half a tenth of a second come the checkered flag there. One of the closest ever finishes you will see in FIA Formula 2 there. Richard Verschoor in P3 ahead of Rafael Villagomez there, with Miata, Hauger, Marti and Isaac Hadjar rounding out your top 8 there. All of your point scorers covered by less than 2 seconds in the end. I think Bortoletto and I so just kind of consumed by our battle with each other that, yeah, we kind of didn't realise that we caused an almighty train that extended right to the rear of the field. What does that do for the championship standings? Well, it means that Bortoletto, from 3rd place heading into it, actually now takes the lead by just 2 points over Ollie Behrman there. Paul Aaron only 5 back, and already we're just starting to see a 4-car battle forming at the top of the table as well. And I believe as well, yeah, it is now just Taylor Barnard who's yet to score there. Rafael Villagomez will leapfrog his way up into 19th place in the championship there. So yeah, still just Barnard yet to score. Constructors-wise, though, I'm hoping, you know, as I think a lot of people were expecting IRL in 2024, Prema, we should hopefully be able to just start edging away from the rest of the field there. The only real team with 2 serious contenders for the crown as well. A 48-point buffer in the end there from the sprint race. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, please do make sure to leave a like, get yourself subscribed, and we'll be back tomorrow when Formula 2 returns ready for the feature.